is becoming a problem, Corey. Don't you see that? And then I'm like, no, because I still had a job. I had a house, I had a nice car. I had all those things. But inside, I was losing everything. I was losing family members. I was losing friends. I didn't know how close I was to probably losing a job. I never drank when I was at work after a certain age, like 22 or something. I don't think I ever drink at work anymore. But, it was crazy, to be on the radio and to go play this guy for everybody, and go do these food drives for everybody. And meanwhile, I'm sitting behind the scenes, just shaking, thinking, oh my God, like I have to get a drink in me bad. I have to take the early shift tomorrow. So that way I'm still kind of drunk, so I'm not shaking as bad. And I'm telling you, man, that's no way to live. Life is so good right now. And if you know anybody, like I said, that is struggling, maybe it's you. Maybe you've been exactly where I'm at. Maybe you've had a year. I've talked to people that are like, oh yeah, I've had 5 years before, and then I relapsed and I just couldn't get it back. Obviously everything happens for a reason, and you don't have to figure out why that happened. You just have to realize that it did, and you can get all that back. You can have a great life, man, without drugs at all. I mean, it's crazy to even think about it. If you're in active addiction or early recovery, you're like, how am I going to get that 6 months? How am I going to make it? I don't know, but you can. That's what I can tell you. And you're going to have to dig deep, just like the guy at the gym. He's digging deep to get that body. He doesn't just wake up, go through a line at Target, grab some kombucha or whatever the hell it's called, and then just become, boom, have that six-pack abs, He doesn't do that. I mean, it'd be great if he did. I mean, I thought I was going to do that today, but it didn't work out, and I just got my car messy. But you know what? Now I have given my girlfriend an opportunity to clean the car. So, see, I'm actually creating opportunities and creating stuff to talk about on the podcast, which I had no idea when I grabbed it that I was going to do that. But I don't know. Sometimes I think a lot, and probably too much. But I don't know. How's everybody on Facebook doing? Aaron, my boy. Oh, man, I could tell a funny story about Aaron. Aaron, remember that time? Well, Aaron used to work with me. Well, actually, I met Aaron at Lake Michigan College. We were in play together. We were in a couple plays together. We were in the one at Twin City Players in St. Joe, the Scrooged one. Well, I remember one time, like, we would always, and I wasn't a big smoker then. I think I'd smoke pot or whatever, but I didn't smoke really cigarettes too much. I remember after, play practice, whatever, we'd go outside and we'd smoke a cigarette, and it would be our treat. Yeah, Aaron, you got me hooked on drugs, bro. But no, the other story I'm not going to tell though, Aaron, because I just don't think it's appropriate for the podcast tonight. Hey, what's up, Michael? How are you? See, a lot of the people that normally listen to the podcast are commenting, which is great. Hey, Debbie, Little Deb, which she's part of FAN, which is Families Against Narcotics. If there's not one in your area, this is something that's huge, because a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of addicts, I mean, maybe we understand, but the pain we put our families through is just incredible. And they don't know what they're doing. I mean, hold on, let me rewind on that. They are trying to figure this out too. They don't have all the answers. I know my mom will be the first to tell you that I drove her absolutely nuts, and she never gave up. And I applaud her for that. I mean, I put that woman through hell. So if you're looking for support, FAN, familiesagainstnarcotics.org is the website. Deb, thanks for jumping on to say hi. And they got a little plug out of it too, so that was pretty awesome. But for real though, that's a good resource. And if you need some kind of advice or some kind of help, or maybe bring them to your neighborhood, say, hey, how do we start FAN meetings here? They'll definitely get back with you and help you out. But yeah, Little Debbie, we're still going to do that walk and throw out Little Debbies at people. Hey, thanks, Dominic. Oh, thanks, bro. Chelsea. Chelsea's funny too. She is a girl that I met when I was working at a treatment center And it was always a problem with Chelsea. And it was funny because she created these own problems most of the time. And so I got her this book from written by Dale Carnegie, which is the greatest book ever. If you've ever read it or if you want to listen to it, you can get it on Audible or whatever. But How to Win Friends and Influence People. Because I told her, I was like, look, it's sometimes it's how you say things, it's how you ask people. It's understanding how to communicate sometimes, and usually that helps out quite a bit. So gave her that book, and then she like loaned to somebody else. I'm like, really, Chelsea? You couldn't even hold on to the damn book. And then it was funny because Chelsea was going to just leave early because she had it figured out, and she was going to leave with a boy. And that's a funny thing when if you're at a treatment center and you're going to leave with a boy and then like move to Florida. It was just like, I didn't tell her that. I think I just shook my head probably and was like, oh, good luck with that. Yeah, it didn't work out. And then she was the first. Oh, she sells her book notes, but she was the first to like hit me up and go, well, yeah, you were right about that. And I really don't think I even gave her too much of a hard time because I realized, once somebody has their mind made up on something, there's nothing I can tell them. It's kind of like my mom told me, the more times that she would tell me that she hated my girlfriend, the more deep I would get with her, like, oh, you hate her? Well, then I love her even more. And some things you have to figure out on your own. She had to go through that. She had to figure that out on her own, but she was still too funny with it, though. And all of a sudden I get a message from her, and she's just like, yeah, you were right. I was like, saw that one come a mile away. But I don't think I told her that. But, she's back in Michigan now doing good. And she's somebody who, and this is something I want to talk about, who uses, maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. I think you do, Chelsea, so I'm speaking for you this, okay, on this, is instead of using her drug of choice, and I don't want to say substitutes, because I don't know if that's what she's doing. I'm not living her life. I have no idea. Because you don't want to substitute one drug for another. I don't want to say, well, I'm going to not drink beer anymore and I'm just going to do acid. That's kind of a weird replacement for beer, but you get what I'm saying, I think. But pot. Let's talk about marijuana. Because personally, let's rewind it. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I'm a dude in recovery. I'm just trying to figure this stuff out just like you. Things are going pretty well for me right now, though. But pot. Another friend of mine was like, yeah, I don't shoot up anymore. I have an opiate use disorder, but I'm not doing that anymore. I'm smoking pot. Suboxone, a lot of people are like, oh, but you're still on drugs. Technically, yes and no. Because Suboxone actually has, and I don't know, I'm not good with saying drug names, but it starts with a B. It's really long. It's like, anyway, it's an opiate. Okay, so it has opiate and it has the other naltrexone or whatever in it, so it kind of keeps you from overdosing on it. But it doesn't act like the opiate that you get, like, say, from, like, heroin. It's like a different type of opiate. It, like, blocks the receptors on there, but it really doesn't get you crazy, if that makes any sense. Even though I guess it's more powerful than morphine, but still, with the naltrexone in there. Anyway, people are on that. And I've heard people say, oh, yeah, but there's withdrawals from that. I don't know. I've never taken it. Well, I've taken it once. But I don't know about that. And everything that I read says, no, there shouldn't be. And you really can't get addicted to it. And I don't know. I'm like, well, then why is it a Schedule 3 or whatever narcotic? If I can't, if I can't get addicted to it, then what's up? As I drink my Monster and eat my ice cream that I'm addicted to. Sugar. So, back to my point about the marijuana. I mean, I look at it like, hey, if my friend, why can't marijuana be used as, I guess it's because there's two different drugs and they act kind of differently. So, okay, never mind. I just answered my own question on that. So that, I don't know. But I'm glad that they're not, going back to the opiates, though. Because that's just a dangerous game. And, especially if the person shoots up and uses needles. I mean, that's just, You're just playing with death. I mean, how many, and I'm not going to really wait for you to answer this because I already know the answer, but how many like 85-year-old opiate addicts do you know? You know, how many 85-year-old heroin addicts do you know? None. That have said, oh, man, I've been shooting up for 50 years. No, you don't know any. So I know it's kind of a loaded question, but it's one of those things where you know deep down that this is the bad thing that's going to happen, and it's just a matter of time. You know, maybe you get a hot shot, but they have those fentanyl strips or those testers that will test for fentanyl in them, and I've been told about this and how it's bad, and oh, you promote that, and then people are just going to run to it to see how good their stuff is. Yeah, okay. But there's also people going to run out there to go, oh, whoa, I am not touching that. And then you just save someone's life. So I think I'm leaning towards that kind of prevention part of it all. And that's where harm reduction comes in. And harm reduction in Michigan, they have a needle exchange. They have, I don't know if they give away condoms. They might as well. I'll just say they do. So if you ever go to harm reduction or look them up on the website, be like, hey, I want some of them condoms too. And we'll see if they'll hook you up. But yeah, they do have the strips, the tester strips. So check them out. They're linked on our website, 217recovery.com under resources. So definitely hit that up, check that out. And, you know, our friends, Kirsten's Ride, they do trainings. And, God, I hope this COVID thing's over soon. Because then they can do trainings. I don't know. She had kind of talked about doing some kind of stuff online. And I think there would be a benefit to that. But look at their website, too. The stuff that I learned from the assist training and the safe talk training, I mean, it's amazing. And the stuff that you learn, and you don't want to be with a friend and they tell you something, but you don't pick up on it. And then next thing you know, it's too late. You don't want to. I don't want to anyway. I mean, I'm not telling you what you want to feel and what you don't want to feel, but to me, that's just something I would rather not do. So, you know, get yourself educated a little bit. And sometimes that education will go a long way, and you can start building on that. Find your purpose. Not sure what it is, but you can find it. I know one thing I'm tired of, though, and I don't mean to bring this up even. It's just like, it's too much. And it kind of goes back to my story about the Target shopping, sort of. What you put in your body. You know, like I put ice cream in my body. So what do you think? Of course I'm going to be fat because I eat a lot of ice cream. Now, if I put, you know, vegetables and fruits in my body, you know, I would probably not, I don't know, be skinnier. What does it say? Healthier. I'd be healthier if I had all that stuff in my body. So the same thing goes with your mind. You know, if you're putting garbage into your mind, what do you think is going to happen? You know, more garbage is going to come out. And I'm trying to avoid Facebook as much as I can, but every time I get on there to look at hot chicks, I mean, just that was a joke. Every time I get on there, though, everything is just, oh, Trump this, Trump that, you know, protest this, protest rallies. I don't know. It's just too much. So I try to stay away from that stuff because I don't want to get dragged down. And a lot of people will say that I'm avoiding the situation or that I just don't care. And it's not that I don't care. It's just, it's too much. There's too much hate. And I don't know about you, but there's enough stuff going on in my own life personally. And I'm not saying I don't care. I'm not saying that it's okay for police to kill people. I'm not saying that at all. Sorry, I'm getting choked up here. But it's too much of the wrong negativity. It's too much energy that I just don't want to feel, you know? So I'd really try to stay away from that. And if you can feed your brain positive things, you know, what are you going to do today? What are you doing tomorrow? You know, instead of, you know,